Justin, we talked to Arthur Smith, and he said he felt like in the second half you were really in a flow, and it was like anything he called, he knew it was going to work. What's the key to carrying that momentum over into this next game?
Yeah, just doing the same thing we did in the second half. Coming out, of course, we want to start faster than we did the first half, and yeah, just doing the same thing, and of course, minus some mistakes, but execution. Run game was flowing pretty well. Second half too, play pass, stuff like that. So as long as we do that, we'll be fine come Sunday night. So.
Did you feel that turning at some point where, okay, now things are?
I mean, yeah, I think everybody on the team knew us. I know us as an offense knew that. We were just hurting ourselves on the offensive side of the ball. So it was just a matter of time before we started to get things going and stuff like that. But like I've been saying, we want to emphasize on starting faster and maintaining that throughout the whole game.
Was there a moment or a play in the second half when you realized, like, oh, we're locked in now, this offense is moving the way it should?
I think Darnell's play kind of gave us some juice a little bit. When he stiff-armed the guy and jumped over him, I think that got us rolling a little bit for sure.
Did you know he could hurdle like that?
I think I might have seen him do it once, but I mean, really just a guy doing it, his size and just the athleticism, that takes. That's pretty impressive for sure. Really impressive.
What does that second half do for confidence? How does that, you're mentioning carry over, how does that part carry over into this?
Confidence? Yeah. I think we all have it at the end of the day. We know what we can do on the offensive side of the ball. I know I'm super confident in, all of my guys, the receivers, running backs, linemen, tight ends. So, yeah, I mean, it does, I guess, a lot for our confidence, but we're already confident, if I'm being honest with you.
Justin, the Colts run blitz you guys a lot with the different pressures they were sending, which wasn't something that they've done a lot this season. How do you guys counter that in the future when teams are trying to do that? Maybe different ways that you guys can respond to that.
Just anticipate them situationally. Yeah. Know their patterns, study their patterns, and kind of anticipate that using snap count a little bit to try to get it uncovered a little bit earlier. But if not, then you just got to adjust on the run and get the play started, at least in the run game for sure.
Last weekend against Atlanta, you were particularly good at targeting George and getting him the ball and opportunities to make plays. How have you sort of walked that line of giving him a chance to make plays, maybe when he's still a little bit covered, but not forcing the ball? You seem to have found a pretty decent medium there.
Yeah, I mean, just knowing the situation, I think it's more of a feel thing. I don't even think you can explain it really, but just that feel in the game, where he might haven't gotten the ball intermediate, or it's time for a big play to be made, and that's when we need 1-4 on the outside. So I think it's more of a feel thing rather than all right, I'm going to go to GP right here, right here, right here. It's kind of a feel thing. You see a specific coverage they give you on the back end, or a specific matchup you might get with him one-on-one. That's the time you want to take your chances up and throw a shot up to him, or get him individualized route or something like that.
So Justin, how do you take your good performance you had in the second half from the last game and start fast for the game against Dallas?
Yeah, you just can't warm up to it. Like Coach T always says, you can't wait for the first team to punch you in the mouth before you really get going. So we want to come out the gate rolling, coming off the ball with energy, get the run game going early, and play off of that, to be honest with you. So, like I said, just having that same mindset coming into the game and not really warming up to competition, as Coach T always says. So.
Justin, you've got 17 completions on 20 pass attempts to Pat. Pretty similar numbers with the other tight ends. What makes that work so well? Is it what the defenses are giving you with the tight ends, or is it just something?
I think it's just taking what the defense gives you. Of course, you're going to have those times to where you got to take shots downfield and you're going to have to throw 50-50 balls. But I think the biggest thing is taking what the defense gives us and throwing to them when they're open. So that's the biggest thing. But I think the biggest thing, like you said, is just taking what the defense gives you and just trying to stay on schedule. So.
Is this something similar when you're throwing off a play action? On a 4-game sample size, you guys haven't really been able to stretch the ball downfield just yet out of play action. What are you seeing so far, and do you feel like you guys can get better at that? Yeah,
I mean, a lot of D coordinators, they run a lot of shell on first and second down trying to catch that play pass. So I think, that's just going to come when we catch them, in the right coverage, to be honest with you. But we're fine taking completions, too, for 10, 12 yards and checking the ball down to Najee. So, I'm fine with that. And, but, the biggest thing about taking shots downfield is not forcing them and just taking them as they come. So.
Justin, Najee was saying that there were a lot of instances he felt that they were stacking the box in the run game. When you're in those situations, how much freedom do you have as the quarterback to either alert into a different concept or alert into a different play or something along those lines?
It just depends on the play call. Yeah, but if we have a run play call, then we're gonna stick with that play call. But one thing I'm not gonna do is, our offense doesn't roll like that. I put my full trust in Arthur to, get us in the right play at the right time. So whatever he calls, I'm gonna roll with it. But there are some plays that I can check into a different play versus a different coverage or a certain look. But most of our run plays, there's some cans on it depending on what look we get. But yeah, so it really just depends on the play calls, to be honest with you.
Is there a little
You
bit
mentioned
of
the
unknown
trust
here
that
with
you
the
mentioned
Cowboys?
You mentioned the trust that you have in Arthur. Do you feel that reciprocated? Do you feel his trust in you growing week after week?
Yeah, I do. I do a lot. Of course, we spend a lot of time with each other, just talking about what plays that I like in the game plan and stuff like that, looking at extra film and stuff. So definitely, feel that relationship coming along pretty well, and I definitely think, our trust is growing within each other. So it's good.
Little unknown here when it comes to anticipating what the Cowboys are going to do pass rush wise without Parsons and Lawrence. How do you accommodate for that as you practice this week?
Yeah, I think as much attention as we be giving, Micah and Lawrence. If they were playing in the game, you got to give as much attention to, what Zimmerman might be doing over there when they're not in the game. So for me, I'm expecting them to pressure a little bit more than they usually do. Because with those two guys on the edge, you can rely on your four-man rush a little bit, more. But of course, those guys are great players, and they're not playing this game. So just expecting a little bit more pressure, and I'm just kind of playing off of that. So, but you never know. So just sticking to the rules and playing football.
Justin, Russ looks like he's getting closer to being ready to go. Mike T's been vague with us about what the plan would be going forward whenever Russ is healthy. Do you feel any extra pressure that you need to kind of show him, Mike, what you can do to, whenever that decision needs to be made, that you're the guy that they can go with?
Do I feel any extra pressure?
Yeah, do you feel any extra pressure?
No, not really. I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing, and whatever decision he makes at the end of the day. So I can only control what I do in the field, but no, I'm just going to go out there and keep doing what I'm doing. So yeah.
Russ, Mike had told us on Tuesday the expectation was to ramp it up this week. Is that occurring, and how's it going?
Yeah, you guys are out there. Yeah, we're definitely ramping it up. It's been good. I feel great, and just getting better every day.
How much work have you been able to do in some of those team periods?
Yeah, definitely been able to hop in the team drills and get more plays, and just be able to do that. That's been great this week, and then doing all the team 11-on-11 and also 7-on-7, all that stuff too as well. So it's been good.
What do you need? How long would it take you to get ramped up to where you can play?
What do you mean by that?
Sorry. Like would it take a number of practices, number of full practices, like?
I've played a lot of football. I feel like we're listening to the doctors, listening to the coach, and just trying to make sure that they're good and I'm good and everything else. And just had a really good week of practice so far. I'm proud of the guys and how hard we've worked. And today's Thursday, still got some extra days left, and then obviously there's Friday and trying to get there too. Feel great, and I had a real good practice today. Our team did, and felt really confident today.
What more do you have to do to test the ankle to show that it's?
You got to meet with the doctors and do some different stuff like that. But just I feel strong. I feel confident, and I love the process that we've been in, just in terms of just making sure that I'm fully ready to go. And I feel like I'm right there. I got an extra day tomorrow, and we still got Saturday and everything else. So that's my mindset. Get ready for Sunday.
What's sort of the last thing to come? Is it lateral movement? Is it pushing off of it? What's the last thing to come that you think needs to get you to 100%?
I think the best part is just practice. I think practice is everything. Being able to get out there with the guys and do the work, and I feel really good about that.
Russ, is there a scenario where maybe you feel strong enough to be active in a number 2 role versus being inactive versus starting? Is there kind of a sliding scale for that?
Yeah, and I think the first thing is just making sure that I'm really physically ready to go. Every week I've been ready to go in some form or fashion in case of emergency or whatever. So that's just kind of been my mentality, just making sure that if something happens, to be ready, and help us win. And that's always the case, is finding a way to help us win. And Justin's done a great job. Our team has too, and just guys have been battling. And so I feel confident about who our football team is.
Russ, you haven't missed a lot of time in your career in general for health reasons. What's it been like to watch? And is it one of those weird things where you're happy the team is doing well, but it's also sort of like Mike T talks about it being a moving train, and at the moment you're not?
Yeah, well, I hate missing practice. I hate missing games, obviously. You know, I've never really been in that situation where I've missed games or practice, more importantly. Not more importantly, but just as significantly, I should say. You know, so that's been an adjustment. But, you know, I've also been able to try to find ways to lead and just kind of, you know, do my part in whatever way I can with Justin, help him, our whole offense, you know, just the fellas, the team, you know, and, you know, I'm excited about where we are, but we haven't done anything yet. We're still, you know, 3-1, but we feel like we could be 4-0. We also feel like, you know, there's some things to clean up and we can get better as a team, as an offense, and, you know, so there's a lot more we got to do. You know, there's things that we can do, I think, to help us continue to win, and so we're just stay focused on the task. And I think for me, is doing whatever it takes to help us win and stay focused on just preparing and being ready to go when that time is right.
Finding those ways to lead. One of that too, beyond the other quarterbacks, like talking to a guy like George after a play like a fumble, where you're trying to keep his head in the game and just give him that veteran perspective on the sideline.
You know, George is a heck of a competitor. You know, he's got tremendous talent. You know, he had a great practice today. I'm excited for him to rebound this week and have an unbelievable game this game. You know, I know it means a lot to him, and it means a lot. He means a lot to us, and so I think part of it, you know, in the games and everything else is just uplifting everybody. I really believe that. I believe that, you know, remaining neutral, but also giving some, you know, some uplift and self-talk and everything else to guys and a vision. I think it's really important, especially at the quarterback position. And so, you know, I think we got a great team, you know, and we got to respond this week. That's what's important for all of us, and we have the opportunity to do that at home.
Russ, are you looking forward to going up, you know, being a part of such a historic matchup like the Cowboys and Steelers?
Yeah, it's definitely history, you know, and you know, but it's really about, you know, this year and us playing so a way we can, you know, honor the Steelers and all the things, all the great games there's been. It's two historic franchises and a lot of great players, so we got to bring our best. Thank you, guys. Yep.